Shalom and welcome back to Flipping Pages, Stirring Sauces. Tawada and gratitude to those of you who have liked, subscribed, shared, and commented. And I humbly ask you to do the same again tonight. And for those of you who are here for the first time, welcome. Now, I made notes again tonight. After all, it is Flipping Pages, Stirring Sauces. And our oppressors have a habit of putting the words of our ancestors in the mouth of others. They have done that with our history. They've done that with the Bible. They've done that with everything. And when something doesn't fit, they invent another lie in order to explain the first lie. Now, when they opened King Tut's sarcophagus, I think that's how you say that word, unwrapped him and discovered that his skin was black, they stated that there was a chemical fire inside of the sarcophagus, and that is why his skin turned black. No, that is a hijack and a lie. His skin was black when they put him in there. And because his skin was black, he stayed black. Now, my warning to our oppressors: stop disturbing the resting places of our ancestors and stop digging them up and eating them. It's disgusting. So I have a few questions. Where did the oxygen come from to cause the fire inside of the sarcophagus? Why was the fabric still intact? Why didn't everything inside the sarcophagus turn to ash? That is just some food for thought, and I will leave that aspect of tonight's interaction right there. Now, people have much to say about Charles III being coronated. I have been saying for many years that he will not be crowned king. And I said in my last two videos that his reign will be very short. Now I hear others using the exact words that I've used, not in the mainstream media, but in the alternative media. Now, usually when confirmation comes about something that I've stated, it is usually very clear. It is not so in this case. They're on about William becoming king instead. I will not tell you tonight who will be crowned king, if anyone at all is crowned king. If I told you that, entities will come looking for me if I state what I've known for some time. Anyway, moving on. Did anyone see the goat that they had in one of the processions? If my eyes are not failing me, that goat was dressed up with a crown on its head. Did anyone see the breaking of the witch's wand in one of their ceremonies? What do you think happened to that goat? What did the world come out to mourn and worship? What was in the box that supposedly contained Elizabeth's body? What was in that box? It looked awfully big and heavy. And my answer to those questions are spiritual wickedness in high places. This earth is bloodthirsty. People wonder why there's so much murder, disappearances, war, and rumors of war. Shouldn't be any surprise. The earth was given into the hands of the devil, and he and his angels are running rampant for now, but their time is very short. Now, melanated brothers and sisters, you need to stop spilling each other's blood. Just stop for a month and see what happens. Stop worshiping that idol that was given to us by our oppressors for a month and see what happens. After what was done to us at the hands of those entities, do you really think that they want to save our souls? Do you really think that they want to see us go to heaven? Stop worshiping JC. There is no J in our original language. Go direct to the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Just do it for a month and see what happens. When you destroy each other, you give our oppressors access to our organs and our melanin. And that negative energy feeds them. It feeds their negative energy. Some of you should remove the clothing of your loved ones just before you put them in the ground. Better yet, have them x-rayed just before you put them in the ground and see what you're really burying. YouTube might come after me for that one. Do not sign your license to be a donor when you get your driver's license. Because when you do that and you go into the hospital, even if you had a chance to make it, you're only coming out one way, and that is not vertical on your own 2 feet. Their grip on us has lost its strength. As such, their iniquity is weak. When you eat too much of something, eventually it turns on you. It is no longer palatable. In Jamaica, we say you get Clyde. They're going to be dropping like flies. You will soon hear about the head of the synagogue of Satan. They call him the Pope. And now, to back up some of what I've said, Matthew 4, verse 10. The energy that they refer to as Jesus, whose name we know was changed, said unto Satan, or the devil, when the devil tried to tempt him, said unto the devil, Get thee hence, Satan, for it is written, Thou shalt worship the Lord thy God, and him only shalt thou serve. Those of you who are meant to understand that will understand that. Some of you will not get it right away. And then in Peter 5:8 and 9, when the devil came back with his nonsense again, he was told, or this was a warning to us actually, be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about, seeking whom he may devour. Whom resist, steadfast in the faith, knowing that the same afflictions are accomplished in your brethren that are in the world. Now, which people? Who are the people who throughout the world are put at a disadvantage? Who are the people who are treated as less than by all the other nations? That is just some food for thought. And Luke chapter 4, verses 4-8. In that chapter, did I make a mistake here? Oh yeah, that chapter is identical to Matthew 4 verse 10. And then we move on to Daniel 4 verse 17. This matter is by the decree of the watchers, and the demand by the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and giveth it to whomsoever he will, and setteth up over it the basest of men. What is the basest of men? That is a low social class, someone without principles. So the earth has been given into the hands of the devil, and they are now running the earth. And these entities who are of a lower social class and without principles are currently running about, causing mischief, going on with all sorts of nonsense, because they don't know any better. They don't know any better. They are of a lower class. And this is all happening because we are a stiff-necked people, and we disobeyed the laws, statutes, and commandments that the Creator gave to us. And so now we who is supposed to be the head and not the tail, we are being governed by this lower class. of entities. Now I'm going to read from Isaiah 14, verse 1 to 32. For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob, and will yet choose Israel, and set them in their own land. And the strangers shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob. And the people shall take them and bring them to their place. And the house of Israel, Yasharel, shall possess them in the land of the Lord for servants and handmaidens. And they shall take them captive, whose captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors. And it shall come to pass in the day that the Lord shall give thee rest from thy sorrow, and from thy fear, and from the hard bondage wherein thou wast made to serve, that thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon, and say, How has the oppressor ceased? The golden city ceased. The Lord has broken the staff of the wicked, and the scepter of the rulers. He who smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke, he that ruled the nations in anger, is persecuted, and none endure it. The whole earth is at rest and is quiet. They break forth into singing. Yea, the fir trees rejoice at thee, and the cedars of Lebanon, saying, Since thou art laid down, no feller is come up against us. Hell from beneath is moved for thee, to meet thee at thy coming. It stirreth up the dead for thee, even all the chief ones of the earth. It has raised up from their thrones all the kings of the nations. All they shall speak and say unto thee, Art thou also become weak as we? Art thou become like unto us? Thy pomp is brought down to the grave, and the noise of thy vials and worms is spread under thee, and the worms cover thee. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? The bright morning star, that is Lucifer. How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations? For thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of God. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High. Yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pit. They that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee, and consider thee, saying, Is this the man that made the earth tremble, that did shake kingdoms, that made the world as a wilderness, and destroyed the cities thereof, that opened not the house of his prisoners? All the kings of the nations, even all of them, lie in glory, every one in his own house. But thou art cast out of thy grave like an abominable branch, and as the raiment of those that are slain, thrust through with a sword, that go down to the stones of the pit, as a carcass trodden under feet. Thou shalt not be joined with them in burial, because thou hast destroyed thy land and slain thy people. The seed of evildoers shall never be renowned. Shall never be renowned. prepare slaughter for his children, for the iniquity of their fathers, that they do not rise nor possess the land, nor fill the face of the world with cities. For I will rise up against them, saith the Lord of hosts, and cut off from Babylon the name and remnant and son and nephew, saith the Lord. I will also make it a possession for the bittern and pools of water, and I will sweep it with the besom of destruction, saith the Lord of hosts. The Lord of hosts has sworn, saying, surely as I have thought, so shall it come to pass, and I have proposed, so shall it stand, that I will break the Assyrian in my land and upon my mountains, thread them underfoot. Then shall his yoke depart from off them, and his burden depart from off their shoulders. This is the purpose that is proposed upon the whole earth, and this is the hand that is stretched out upon all the nations. For the Lord of hosts has purposed, and who shall disannul it? And his hand is stretched out, and who shall turn it back? In the year that King Ahaz died was this burden. Rejoice not thou, whole Palestina, because the rod of him that smote thee is broken. For out of the serpent's root shall come forth a cockatrice, and its fruit shall be a fiery flying serpent. And the firstborn of the poor shall feed, and the needy shall lie down in safety. And I will kill the root with famine, and he shall slay the remnant. Howl, O gate, cry, O city, thou whole Palestina art dissolved. For there shall come from the north a smoke, and none shall be alone in his appointed times. What shall one then answer the messengers of the nation? That the Lord has founded Zion, and the poor of his people shall trust in it. Now, Babylon is currently destroying its own people. And this is how wicked and vile these entities are. You see, they did all this in attempt to destroy the melanated people. But instead, they're destroying their own people. And as I said back in the spring of this year, Babylon will implode. Now, Revelation 3, verse 9. Behold, I will make them of the synagogue of Satan, which say they are Jews, and are not, but do lie. Behold, I will make them to come and worship before thy feet, and to know that I have loved thee. Now, the Creator, the Most High, is not a spirit of confusion. Exodus 23 verse 7 state, keep thee far from a false matter, and the innocent and righteous. Slay thou not, for I will not justify the wicked. Why then would the Creator require that JC undergo such a wicked and cruel act. He was an innocent man. Why would the Creator require an innocent man to undergo such a cruel and wicked act in order to save our souls? He said not to spill the blood of the innocent, and he is not a God of confusion. So why would he require that? Ezekiel bore the burden for the house of Israel, not JC. So I ask you this, but before I ask you this, please remember to like, share, subscribe, and comment. Could you do that to your child who you profess to love? Could you require of your child who you profess to love to be hung on a cross and have his side pierced? Could you require that of your child? I couldn't. And I know that the Most High, the Ancient of Days, the great I Am, Yahweh, Awa, the breath, the Creator, couldn't and wouldn't require that of his only begotten Son. My Creator, who I have a personal relationship with, would not require that of his child. And with that, I give you my Ahab, my peace, my Baruch, and Shalom.